In Maine, don't have any problems. Our group is the one that has the problem and making an issue out of it. In case you people do not watch the news, it is an issue. We've had it already happen here in Maine. The problem is we don't have a lot of girls or boys speaking up about it due to peer pressure. It has nothing to do with, feeling safe in locker rooms for those that don't traditionally fit in. So here's a short video. We pulled it offline. If you haven't seen it, congratulations, we'll show it to you. If you have seen it, we just want to reiterate, this is what's going on. It's only going to get worse if we don't find a compromise now.
Okay, why is the sound not working?
Forced to compete against biological men. Cassidy, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
It's great to see you. Let's start by you telling us about your experience. When and how were you forced to compete against a biological male?
So my junior year of high school, I was in Nordic skiing, and my dad had told me before the season started that there would be a trans athlete, and we had actually followed this biological male throughout cross-country running season, but I didn't fully believe it until I showed up to a race, and sure enough, he was there. And I lost to him numerous of times.
And how was his times versus the men's times, for example, in the same event versus the women's times? Do you know?
Oh, in the men, he was towards the bottom of the category, and in women, he was towards the top. He placed on podium since he started skiing in the women's category.
So I'm reading online that you were also forced to share a changing room with a biological male.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
So my 7th grade year, I was going to change for gym, just like I would every other day. And I walked in, and sure enough, there was a biological male standing there. And I had gone to my school administration after that, which at that point I was told you have two options. You can change in the locker room, or you can change in the individual bathroom with multiple other people, and you could be late for class, which at that point I do not blame my school administration. I blame the policy that they're forced to follow.
You were in 7th grade and you had to go
13 years old.
How did that make you feel?
I was defeated. As a woman, that's my safe space. I'm supposed to be able to have a locker room that I can change in. At 13 years old, I was forced to choose in a way between my education and my privacy. And that's not fair, and that's not something any 13-year-old should ever have to go through.
And the school told you that you had to change locker rooms if you weren't happy about it, right?
Yes, the school told me I had to change in the individual bathroom, that the locker room would be available to the trans person if they wanted to change there.
Were the other girls okay with that?
No, there was a lot of us, which is part of the reason that we would risk being late for classes, because so many of us would be changing in the individual bathrooms.
Why didn't the transgender student have to change somewhere else? Did your parents ask? Did other parents say, hey, this doesn't make sense?
I think it's all about, making sure that they feel accepted. And that's putting our own females out of their safe space, out of their private space, so we can accommodate one person.
Why is it important for you to speak out about this issue? Because I saw you at the White House when President Trump signed his executive order. I've seen you and your dad on other national news broadcasts. Why is it important to you? And what do you hope will come?
To me, it's all about the younger generations. I never, ever want a younger female to walk into a locker room and see a biological male, or to have an opportunity taken from them because a biological male with a physical advantage is competing against them. That's not fair. I want a safe space, and I want equality for the women and for future generations. And right now that's not happening. And so I hope coming out of this that, we can comply with what President Trump has put in order to protect women.
You're a high school senior. What's next for you? Where are you off to, and what do you want to study?
My next plan is to head to Liberty University in Virginia next year to study biomedical sciences to hopefully become a PA.
Good for you. I just want you to hear me out for a second. I'm a girl dad, and I want my girl to have every opportunity that she feels like she deserves. And I also want her to fight for what she feels is right. And so I applaud you and your family for standing up for what you think is right.
Thank you so much.
Cassidy Carlisle, so great to meet you. We wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you for having me.
You bet.
Hi. Can I just set this down right here? Can I set this down?